Hey everybody, Merry January. We're still before the start of the actual season of Escape This Podcast, but hey, there's still fun bonus episodes. There's still week-to-week content for all you cool fans.
You're making some big promises here.
Yeah, you're right. But there's an episode right now,
We're trying.
at the very least. So yeah, look, the actual episode, or the actual season rather, will probably start last week of January, I think will be the first episode of the new season, if all goes to current plan. But it's looking good. Until then, yeah, a few little bonus episodes.
We have no reason, as of right now, to suspect anything will cause delays.
Exactly, but you never know. So, Danny, what are we going to do this episode?
I wanted to do a Goosebumps. It's been ages since we've done one of those.
Oh, nice. But I'm assuming by do a Goosebumps, you mean make choices in a Give Yourself Goosebumps book?
I'm now thinking of the alternative, and that'll be fun to do sometime.
Just read Goosebumps?
See how closely I can tell you the events of a Goosebumps and see if you match what the character does.
Oh, a fake choose your own adventure.
Exactly.
Where I just pick what I think should happen, and then you tell me if that did happen or not.
Pretty much.
That could be fun, actually.
See how quickly you can break it.
I love it. Straight away, surely. Like, talk to this person.
You think talking is the solution in Goosebumps? That'll
No,
get you eaten.
Adults never believe kids in Goosebumps anyway.
I feel like putting this aside and trying one right now.
No, Danny, we had a plan.
All
We're
right.
going to do it.
I'll think about it. I'll be thinking about it the whole way through.
Now, I know you said before to me, before we started, you said you found a Give Yourself Goosebumps that is like later than our childhood, so therefore one that you don't know.
Well, here's the thing. I've just looked at the publishing date and it does say 2000.
Okay, so not later than our childhood.
I now need to, hold on, let me go to the shelf and find the ones that I did grow up with and find out like what the list looks like. All right, so this one, Lost in Stink Eye Swamp, number 24. That's pretty standard stuff. I know all of the ones coming before that, but then...
Do you know what number this is?
Yeah, this one, I think it was like 41.
Oh, wow. That's so many choose your own Goosebump ventures.
Can you look up a list? I want to know exactly when the cutoff point is.
All right. List of Give Yourself Goosebumps books. I would like a list. Give Yourself Goosebumps, children horror fiction, game book series.
All right, so I know definitely all the way up to 24, 100%.
Sorry, he decided to create this spin-off in 1995, and by the year 2000 he'd written 40 of them.
I mean, they're Goosebumpses.
I know, but still.
If that's your job, that's pretty doable. And they're great.
All right. Escape from the Carnival of Horrors. TikTok You're Dead. Trapped in Batwing Hall.
Yeah, you can skip ahead to 24, at least.
Okay. 24 was Lost in Stink Eye Swamp. That was 1997.
Yeah.
Shop Till You Drop Dead.
Yep.
Alone in Snakebite Canyon.
Yep.
Classic from our childhood.
Absolutely.
Check Out Time at the Dead End Hotel.
Sure, but I get the feeling that was when it started to feel a little bit new.
Well, what about Night of 1,000 Claws?
Yeah, no, that was not part of my childhood at all. Okay.
It came out 2 months after Dead End Hotel, Danny. There was no gap
When
or
did
anything.
Dead End Hotel come out?
April 1998.
Okay, so we have a year that maybe, you know what, let's just say that's the year Australian libraries stopped getting them.
I don't think you can say that at all. Well, Invaders from the Big Screen, Your Plant
I don't know
Food,
that at all.
Werewolf of Twist. Oh, it came from the internet, number 33.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, yes, I did grow up with that one.
Elevated to Nowhere, Hocus Pocus Horror,
Yeah,
Ship of Ghouls,
these
Escape from Horror House.
No.
Into the Twist
you
of
say
Terror?
that like I should know that, but
Yeah.
it just sounds like a lot of the others. No, I don't know any of these.
And this one, is this All Day Nightmare?
Oh, no, sorry, I must have read
Or
it
is this
wrong.
Danger Time?
Yes, this is
41?
Danger Time, yeah.
42 seems to be the last one.
Oh, okay.
So you have found the second last one.
All right.
Danger Time. The reader enters a creepy
No,
looking
I don't know
clock
anything.
store.
I don't know anything.
Okay, but looking at the cover, you know that we're entering a creepy looking clock store.
I mean, I don't know. It's got a creepy looking clock. There's nothing that says store.
There's
It's got portraits on the wall next to it. Are you
Yeah,
kidding?
to show off
That's your
the
creepy
kind
clock.
of people who would look at a clock. Well, maybe we buy the clock. We don't know yet.
Right, so this is the choose your own version of Cuckoo Clock of Doom, except Grandfather Clock of Doom.
There we go.
If you cannot see the image, it is,
What do you mean if you cannot? No one can see the image.
if you're not looking at it on your own.
Okay.
To get it. What?
Oh,
Some
so
people can Google things.
People can't Google.
If we're sitting here saying,
It's
oh, wow, look at the image
2025.
on this cover, how about that? You don't think anyone is going to Google that cover?
That's fair.
There are walls. They are various shades of green vertical striped.
Nice.
And in front of said walls is a big old grandfather clock. We are focusing on its face because its face is a grumpy old man face.
I didn't get a good look at this clock. Can I have a look at the grumpy old man? That's not what I'm picturing in my head. Oh, no, that's a... Oh, look at those eyebrows.
What did you see from the online
It looks
icon?
weirdly more demonic and therefore less scary than this old man. With the bushiest, spikiest eyebrows you've ever seen.
Yeah, you've just woken him up and he's not happy about it. But he can't do anything to you. He doesn't look like he's got magic powers.
Come here and put your hand in my mouth.
He's just stuck in a clock.
That's him. Yeah, clocks fundamentally are not that scary. You just walk away.
Yeah, and unlike Cogsworth in Beauty and the Beast, the hands of his clock face are his moustache, aren't they?
Yeah.
That is not the case of this dude.
No.
The hands are just,
They're just hands
coming
on his
from the
face.
middle of his nose.
Yep, they're coming right out of the center of his nose. They have no function. I thought maybe his bushy eyebrows might be the clock hands, but no.
Looks like it's about 11:46.
The witching hour.
Sure, let's say that. So yeah, I truly don't know anything about this one.
Well, let's find out by exploring whatever this book was called.
Danger Time.
Danger Time. Ugh, Danger Time.
I would have preferred if it was called Time of Death.
I gotta say, there are some really nicely named Goosebumps books. It's really evocative, fun, say cheese and die, brilliant.
Well, you always hear the legend that he went titles first.
Danger
Time
is
doesn't
nothing.
sound like it was title
No
first.
one's like, what about Danger Time? I could write that. No, that's nothing.
Yeah, TikTok, You're Dead.
TikTok,
Fully
You're Dead.
believe
He
that was
already has
first.
one called TikTok, You're Dead. Now that's a better title. Danger Time? That's just 2 words. Let's start Danger Time.
I'll be very interested to know, will I defend this because it's a Goosebumps and I love all Goosebumps, or will this be past its prime?
Shameless.
After the golden age.
Cash grab.
All right. Come on.
Sorry, again, like 6 months after the golden age.
Come on, we have to hurry, you call over your shoulder. Starship Avengers starts in 10 minutes. And you hate being late.
Oh, that sounds like me.
Sounds like time shenanigans.
Time.
Your friend, whose name is Arnie, comes up behind you. He's not exactly an athlete, so he's struggling to keep up. All right, you are seeing Starship Avengers with your chubby nerd friend.
Nice.
That's where we're at. And he informs you, very helpfully, that everybody wants to see this movie, and it's awesome.
Everybody wants to see this movie.
Oh, this is very fitting. The annoying thing about this trip is that you have to have your little brother tag along. And
Okay.
he cannot keep to a schedule at all. Like right now, he's off wandering around looking in the window of a bicycle store. He is 3 years younger than you, totally annoying, and his name is Pat.
Oh, just like my brother, who's more than 3 years younger than me. Very annoying, and his name is Pat.
Easy. So you yell at him that he's going to make you late again. He says, yeah, I'm coming. And he strolls toward you. A snail could move faster.
I hate this kid.
The movie theater is
Not
around.
me. I'm saying my character hates this kid. I think he's great.
The movie theater is around the corner. You rush, you buy tickets. There's no line. But then you discover why there's no line.
Show has been cancelled. Every child has been too late, and so we cancelled the whole thing.
Nah, it's just sold out.
Oh, okay,
And,
good. Oh, God, my slow snail
yeah.
brother.
Yeah, you give him a good old manhandle and tell him that it's his fault. And he says, let go of me or I'll tell. And then Arnie breaks the two of you up. And he very magnanimously says, all right, can't see the movie. Hey, look, there's a new store over there. Let's go check it out. You glance over, and there is indeed a new store, and it's called It's About Time.
Better than Danger Time.
That's weird. You were down this way yesterday. You never noticed any new store. You can't remember what was there, so you shrug. Might as well.
What kids are these where they're like, I want to see a movie, and if I can't see a movie, I want to go to a clock store.
Sounds like you.
Does sound like me, actually. You're right. I would enjoy going to a clock store as a child.
This-
And as an adult. Danny, do you want to go to the clock store?
That sounds like we'd want to buy a clock. We don't even have a clock. Does anyone have clocks anymore?
Well, that's why we need to buy a clock.
Do people have clocks
Danny,
nowadays?
We must continue our march away from modern technology. We
Sundial?
We abandoned all of our online calendars and replaced them with a whiteboard with little notes written on it
It's because it's
stacked
better.
up. Because it's better. Because it's better, right?
It's right there.
And you know what's better than having the time on my phone? A big clock. A big, beautiful clock. A carriage clock sitting on our mantle. We don't have a mantle, but we can install one. You know where we'd put a clock? You know how above the entryway to our kitchen, of our open plan sort of kitchen entryway, there's a big beam that comes down. That's where you put a clock.
You know the problem with clocks?
No, there are no problems with clocks.
They are inherently untrustworthy.
Oh, because of like daylight savings?
No, not daylight savings, just actual clock mechanics and clockworking. You know that no clock is perfect. That's just an absolute fact about clocks.
That is
and
true.
How do you check whether your clock is right?
You use a better clock.
Yeah.
You're right. Clocks are the one thing the internet's done pretty well.
I was just thinking, I'd love to have a clock. Oh, but I wouldn't want to have to deal with the batteries. Oh, what about one of those ones that you actually just full on wind until it dies? Well, how do I ever trust that?
I gotta say, I remember growing up, still having like a watch to tell time.
Yeah.
And always needing to basically have like a 5-minute window for one of our two clocks of the two people who are trying to meet up is a few minutes off from the other.
Absolutely.
So like I could be a bit early and they could be a bit late, and so what we think is going to be 10, we gotta assume it's anywhere between 9:55 and 10:05.
Timekeeping is a mess. We'd be better off just having 1,000 egg timers.
That's not true.
You sure?
Yeah. I'm sure.
I believe them a little bit more.
No, I think the world of clocks and watches is better than a world of 1,000 egg timers. But no, a modern phone clock is probably better than a watch and a clock because like it automatically updates for daylight savings. It's gonna be refreshing.
It is Bluetooth connected to the tar dripping thing and the atomic clock.
Yeah, it knows.
It's got the really accurate and the really slow.
I don't think that the peat dripping thing is the way to keep time. I don't think they're like, we're running this experiment because we know that once every 40 years it'll drip. So let's check.
Well, then why are we doing it?
Because we love how much it drips.
But knowing how much or how often it drips isn't important?
No.
Well, anyway, the store window is jammed with clocks. There are antique wind-ups, cuckoo clocks, digital clocks, one running on 2 wires stuck into a potato, brass astrological instruments glittering in the sunlight.
Astrological? We got sundials here? We got sextants here? We got moon clocks here? Is that a thing, a moon clock? I've invented it. It's like a moon
sundial,
clock.
but with moon.
Yeah, like a moon, but you can't use the light of the moon.
If we had a backyard, I would totally paint a sundial.
Okay, that's fair.
That'd be cool. Anyway,
I'd build a bird bath that doubled up as a sundial. That
sounds
nice,
great.
I think.
But the refraction of the water would change the time.
Yeah, but I've got a big dripping peat set up in the corner so I can keep
We can't see through the water anyway.
Every 40 years I can just double check whether that's telling me the right time. To tell me whether or not 40 years have passed, like a sundial does.
There's a sign in the window that says, "Time problems? We have answers."
I like this store.
You don't have a problem with time, but your brother sure does.
Ah.
So you get the genius idea that this store will cure Pat of his habit of making you late.
Bring. Yes. Can I help you, young child? Yes. I'm so sorry. My younger brother is often late. Do you have anything that could fix that? I'm sorry. We're a clock store. Yes. Could you make him care more about the time? No. Also, he walks slower than a snail. Could you speed my brother up? Do you want a shoe store? No, I'd like a clock store to help my younger brother get to the movies.
Metronome.
Metronome. I love it.
You push the door open. Bong, bong, bing, bong. I assume that's the tune they're going for when it says bong, bong, bing, bong.
Yeah, it's got to be, right? What else goes bong, bong, bing, bong?
Yeah. All we've got is bong, bong,
bing, bong, bong, bing,
no,
bong, bong.
Don't improvise. It says bong, bong, bing, bong.
Okay, bong, bong, bing, bong.
That's all we got.
Bong, bong, bing, bong. You'll come and buy a clock.
The ceiling in here is dark blue with tiny twinkling lights that look like stars and constellations.
Nice.
And faint glowing lines trace the outlines of the creatures of the zodiac. Okay.
Okay, clocks and stars.
Sure, I guess it feels like there's a connection
Yeah.
there.
Keep track of the months with the zodiac signs. Keep track of the time of the days with the clocks, and keep track of the years with the Pete.
Oh, your plan is to find a watch for Pat.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
And Arnie calls out, trying to see if there's any employee here. Hello? Doesn't get an answer. And Pat starts whining, saying it's really boring. But then...
I mean, it is. It is. It's a clock store.
But then, zap! From somewhere in the back, there is a flash of bright light, and a man suddenly appears. Where did he come from? You can't see a door. He has long white hair.
I'm Clock Clobius, the clock man. Welcome to my store, little children.
A white beard and a white robe hanging down to brush his sandals.
I am the clock mage.
Your scalp prickles. This is getting very weird.
Yeah, well, I mean, he did appear out of nowhere and he's dressed like a wizard. Danny, that is pretty weird. I think you're brushing this off.
Getting very weird implies multiple weird steps. This is one thing.
Yeah,
Unless you are implying that man in white is just inherently weird, or old person equals inherently weird. Oh my god, this clock store is run by an old person.
No,
I don't get it. Oh my god.
Danny, when we retire, can we run a clock store?
I think that's what you do when you want to be like driven insane by by
that's the best thing to do
noise.
as you get old.
You want TikTok? You want TikTok? You notice that the old man's face is actually smooth and soft.
What an odd thing to notice.
Well, he must be really old, but he doesn't have any wrinkles.
Why does he have to be really old? This old man looks like a young man, but I know he's old because he's wearing white robes.
Yeah, his white beard is
he does have a
actually...
big white beard,
it would
true.
take 40 years to grow that beard.
By the dripping of this peat. But between one drip to the next, I shall grow a beard.
He introduces himself. Guess what his name is?
Dripping Pete? Is it Dripping Pete?
It's appropriate in a different way.
His name is...
I will say, within 10 guesses, you could guess his name.
Oh, okay. When you say his
fewer.
name, is it a first last? Or just
No, it's a single name.
Single name. A single name that's kind of clocky or timey. His name
Maybe
is...
5.
Clocklin. Oh, I'm pretty happy with Clocklin. Is it Clocklin?
How would you spell Clocklin?
C-L-A-C-H-L-A-N. Clocklin.
I think that's real.
Is his name Clocklin?
It's not Clocklin. It's not
come on.
It's not like a pun like that.
All right, his name's Dong. What's his name?
Think about the stuff that you've seen in the store so far. Put them together, and you might get there. I reckon.
I've seen stars, clocks, an old man. His name is Leo.
No, but yeah.
Sagittarius.
No. Why would I think that you could get that
what's
within
his name?
5? His name is Kronos.
Oh, okay. I was trying to think of well, I wasn't because I said Sagittarius.
Yeah.
But I was trying to think of names that were maybe more like a normal name.
Kronos is clearly a normal name.
I don't know if it is. I think his name's Clocklin, and you should change it to Clocklin as we go.
Well, either way, he's also got very pale eyes along with everything else. And he says, "You have come at a crucial moment. Together, we can save time."
That is a pretty crucial moment.
With a capital T.
Ooh.
You glance at Arnie with raised eyebrows.
We had to put a capital T in crucial moment, I gotta say.
You glance at Arnie with raised eyebrows. He shrugs. And your response? I think we're in the wrong place.
Yeah.
You head towards the door, but slam, the front door crashes open. I thought it was going to shut to stop you leaving. But no, it crashes open. 2 men in black jumpsuits and black helmets rush in, their eyes hidden by dark visors.
We're the clock troopers.
One holds up a big gold watch and the other snarls, "Time police, nobody move, you're under arrest."
I love the time police.
Is Kronos some kind of criminal? What a time police. Is everyone crazy?
Yeah, I think it's the third option.
Oh my god, Kronos reaches behind a counter and
gun.
pulls out a long scythe.
Okay, this is insane. I'm into it. Let's go.
The light glitters along its razor-sharp edge and he says, "Back off." The time police glance at
Or I'll
each
kill
other.
these kids.
Help me, Kronos begs you. He never takes his eyes off the guys in black. Before it's too late. You hesitate. Arnie tips his head towards a side door. Says, let's get out of here while we can.
Yeah.
I'm scared, says little baby Pat.
Shut up, Pat.
The time police scare you too. They look like mean business. Sorry, they look like they mean business.
I was gonna say that's probably what it should be, but I don't mind they look like mean business.
Right? But Kronos really seems to need your help.
Does he?
This is your choice.
An old man popped out of nowhere. He said, "Kids, will you help me save time? The time cops are here. Here's my giant scythe. I think he's death."
I think he's a little deaf. So, would you like to help him or run away?
I can't help the time cops.
Oh, certainly
Take
not.
this man in.
No, you're not. No. Oh, the time cop said that you are all under arrest.
What are we under arrest for? All right, help Kronos. Let's kill these time cops.
All right, let's do it. All right, we'll help you, you tell Kronos. What do we do? You were warned. The time police nod at each other.
I
Okay.
don't know if we were, but sure.
You back away in terror. What will they do to you? Kronos points his scythe at the time police. And you hear a crack of thunder, and a bolt of lightning shoots from the tip of the blade.
I would have thought he had. Wait.
Tip of
I feel like if I am picturing someone pointing a
Wielding
scythe
a
at someone,
scythe.
the blade is kind of
It's not the
almost
point.
pointing back towards
Yeah.
you. So I think he just shocked himself.
Well, that's why you duck and shield your eyes. The lightning passes between the two time police. The room fills with the odor of scorched hair, and they fall to the floor. They are stone dead, I assume.
Wow,
That's all we got. They've been electrocuted. They're gone.
Pick a lane, Kronos. You're a time wizard. You've got the scythe of death, but it shoots lightning? What are you talking about, man? Do some time stuff. Throw a clock hand at somebody. Turn them into a baby. Throw a clock hand at him. It stabs him in the heart, and he turns into a baby and then dies.
Sorry, I just gotta say, Kronos then says, quick, go through the back door. I'll join you in a moment to tell you about your mission. Weren't we just told there was no back door?
We're told our dumb kid couldn't see the back door.
Oh, good point. All right, so there's nothing magic about this at all. This all makes perfect sense. All right, you heard the man. You say to Arnie and Pat, move it. That's what you're gonna do. You heard them through the door. You follow them. And then Arnie stops and gasps in amazement. In front of you is what looks like a whole new world. This sure isn't any downtown street.
This is a new fantastic place to be.
You see a meadow, dense forest, even craggy mountains covered with snow. Overhead, hundreds of stars gleam brightly. Wait,
What an odd number of stars.
wait, how can you see the stars when the countryside in front of you is so well lit? That's the question that you have.
No, that's a reasonable
That's
question.
a valid question. It's just not your first question.
Yeah.
It must be some sort of magic. That you've solved it.
Yeah, easy.
Where are we? How did we get here? I don't know, says Arnie. And more important, you murmur, how do we get back? There was no indication that the door disappeared behind you.
But I guess it did.
I guess. But either way, Kronos appears behind you and says, how do you get back? Well, that depends on you. You must succeed in the mission before you. If you do, you'll return safely. If not...
I'll kill you. I'll kill you and eat you
Zappy,
to
zappy.
keep myself young. Didn't you see how smooth my skin is? It's from eating children.
Well, you indeed ask. If not, then what? Well, then no one will survive and the whole universe will be destroyed.
Okay, high stakes, high stakes.
What is this place? You are in the world of the Zodiac.
Am I the crazy one here? Like, I get there's an association with the passing of the months and the Zodiac, but it's so weird to be like, it's the clock guy who runs the time store, and he's obsessed with the Zodiac.
Yeah. It's like, it
It's like, why don't you
feels
make
like
him
the
astronomer
connection is
or the
there.
astrologer or something else.
But it's a little
rather
peculiar.
than Kronos
I mean,
the time guy.
this was the year 2000. There were no astrology stores back then.
That is true. Look, I get it. They're there to
It's
keep
not
track
like
of the
LA
months.
now where every corner is a fortune teller.
That is true. All right, that's fine. I'm accepting the premise and I'm moving on.
And Arnie says, oh, well, like horoscopes and signs? Cool. Well, those signs that you speak of only represent the Zodiac. Here, around the great time hub of the universe, the creatures of the Zodiac are real and alive.
Hey, guy, a lot of them are real and alive in our world too. One of them is a pair of twins. One of them is a fish. One of them's a lion.
I feel like older Goosebumps
One of them's a
took a
bull.
little bit more ramp up, whereas this one is just launched so
Welcome
fast
to
into the
Zodiac
crazy.
Town. It's crazy here.
Like, Alone in Snakebite Canyon starts with you and your annoying cousin walk into a store and you browse stuff in the store.
We did that in this one. It's just the store was run by a time magician.
You get to make a decision about what you buy, not get invaded by scythes and time
Can
cops.
we not ask this guy what the time cops were investigating him for? Because if it's the stealing of children and taking them to Zodiac Town.
You definitely will. That's coming. But first of all, you have to know why he needs your help. Time thieves have planted a bomb at the hub. It's where all time originates. Only someone from a different time frame can get through the hub's barricades. There are lots of capitalized words out of these.
But not what you'd think. It was through.
And then you ask, well, what do the time thieves want, first of all?
Yeah, it sounds like they want to steal time, but they want to blow up time?
Yes, they want to break the rules of time so they can steal from other time frames. If the bomb explodes, the time thieves are the only ones who would survive.
Sure, all right. But then what do they need to steal for?
I don't know.
Who are they going to sell to? Everyone else is dead. Who are they going to steal from? Everyone else is dead.
Okay, so now, what about the time police?
Yeah, what at the time
Why
comes?
did they try to arrest you? Oh, they are nothing but tools of the time thieves. Pay no attention to them.
Oh, so the time thieves have bought the time police.
My,
Who are just like, I want my bosses to make it so that I never exist.
this is pretty sus.
Hey, they're offering me money, they're paying my mortgage. Of course I'm going to help them destroy all of humanity, including myself.
I think Kronos is a time thief.
I think Kronos is a time thief.
Well-
is there a choice? Is there like to kill Kronos right now? Turn to page 58.
I mean, I think that was our first decision. You
you're
already
right.
you committed an oath to help him.
I did. I committed.
Anyway, he pulls an hourglass from the folds of his robe and gives it to Arnie. It's about a foot high, made of dark polished wood and greenish glass with tiny bubbles in it. The upper part is filled with pure white sand. What's that, you ask? The etheric vibrations of this device are keyed to those of the bomb.
I like this guy.
Set this on the hub before the last grain of sand falls. In that way, you will disarm the bomb. This is, like, you're putting something down and that's going to disarm the bomb. That is setting a bomb. This is a bomb.
This is the bomb. This is the bomb. This guy's the time thief.
Well, Kronos
heard it here
gazes
first.
deeply into your eyes and says, "You are our only hope." I assumed the hub was a place, not a thing.
Yeah.
So my visualization of this is
I guess it's just like a little box.
all over the place.
Little box full of time.
So where is this bomb, you ask? How do we find it? He hands you a sickle. I don't know if it's the scythe from before or
This
a
guy's
shiny new
obsessed
sickle.
with
He's just pulling
farming
weapons.
implements.
Pulling tools out of his robes. He says, "This always points toward the hub."
What do you mean it's a sickle? What do you mean it points? It has a big curve in it.
I don't know.
Which part of it points?
The crescent blade is dark blue and vibrates in your hand. So maybe it doesn't even point. Maybe it vibrates as you go in the right direction.
You're crazy, Kronos.
Take care. It will help guide you, but it cannot warn of the dangers in your path. And the most direct route is not always the swiftest or the safest.
But here are the secateurs of warning you about danger. They'll clip and clack whenever danger's near.
Arnie asks you about what sort of dangers you might face, and Kronos says, "I gotta get back. The time block I set on the time police will wear off soon. I gotta distract them to keep them from discovering you. Bye."
Sorry, kids.
So he vanishes.
Beware the time spiders.
And then Arnie immediately gets over his worry and says, "Oh, I guess we should get going. Which way?" Because just ahead of you, the path forks. The left branch leads to the meadow that you have seen, which looks pretty straightforward, but it would leave you pretty exposed. And the right branch enters a forest where you could get lost in there. And the sickle points right between them. Thanks a lot, Kronos. This sickle isn't much help. So just pick one.
Forest.
I agree.
The meadow. Boring. Empty. But also open to attack. The forest. Silent. Deadly. But also safe from attack. Except for things in the forest, which will kill you.
Yeah. You set off to the forest. The trees meet overhead, blocking the light. You stumble along the murky, overgrown path. Roots trip you and branches reach out to rake your face. I love that as a phrase.
Mm.
I don't like it here. Why did we come this way? You
Shut
picked
up,
bad.
Stop being a Goosebumps sibling.
But it's okay because Arnie thinks he can see a clearing. And he goes a little bit faster. Pat runs to keep up. You pick up speed as well, but you trip over your shoelace. You go sprawling.
Oh, I forgot to turn to page 4 to tie my shoes.
Typical. You stop. You double knot your shoelaces this time, and you glance around. Uh-oh. Arnie and Pat are nowhere in sight. The path narrows and threads between two huge mossy boulders. You can't see the other side. They must be through there, you figure. You hurry through. All right, what do you think happens next?
I hurry through between two boulders, and then as I do, the boulders say, "Hey, help
Honestly,
me!"
that's kind of what I expected.
Because Arnie and Pat have been turned into the boulders.
That was exactly what I thought was going to happen. Yikes. Two big, ugly giants leap down from the rocks.
Oh, all right. Hey, guys.
They look exactly alike, and they grab your arms, and both of them at the same time say, "Mine!"
Oh,
And they start to pull at you.
Poor little guys.
Now, let's find out. Is it fun?
No, it's incredibly painful. They're going to rip me apart. Two giants tugging on my arms? They're gonna flay the skin from my bones.
Well, yeah, you complain that it hurts and tell them to stop, and they go, "Oh, it talks!" And they let you go a little bit.
Nice.
That was easy.
Now, these are twins. Are these guys Gemini? I figure they're not usually angry giants.
You realize the giants are identical twins, larger than life and twice as ugly. Wait, isn't your uncle's star sign Gemini, the twins?
Nice. I'm really showing off my great skills here.
Of course I talk, you tell them. I'm here on an important mission. Please let me go. Oh, you can't pass unless you answer our riddle. It's a rule.
It's fair. Let's go for it, James.
All right. One of them smiles, revealing long yellow teeth. Why shouldn't you say secrets near a clock?
Ooh, why shouldn't you say secrets near a clock? Because...
I've got a guess.
Hold on. You shouldn't say secrets near a clock, and it'll be a pun based on something a clock does. Because it'll tell time.
Not where I almost was. I was going to say because time will tell.
Because time will tell.
Right?
Okay, yeah, that's good.
Well, now your options here.
Oh,
you
I have
can't-
options?
Yeah, you
Okay.
can't. You've got to figure out whether you get the riddle right or not. But the options don't just tell you the answer. One of them is if you think it has something to do with an old saying, turn to page 121.
Yep.
If you think the answer has something to do with hidden microphones, turn to page 13.
Nope.
Oh, you don't want to try? You don't want to try?
It's time will tell.
It is.
Because Kronos hides microphones in all his clocks. He's a little creep.
I know, you declare. You shouldn't say secrets around a clock because time will tell. They release your arms and point at each other.
It's been 10,000 years and no one's ever solved our riddle.
Oh no, they're not
You'll
happy
be the
about
first boy we ever don't eat.
it. No, they start blaming each other and arguing with each other, saying, "You told him the answer. You told him the answer." And you get really annoyed at them. It's worse than Pat. They yell everything simultaneously, making it twice as annoying. They grab your arms again. They say, "You cheated. You have to answer another one."
Get out of here.
You don't have time for this. You have to do something quick. But what?
To stab the giants, turn to page 71.
Like, if you continue to play that guessing game, sooner or later you'll lose, and you can't really afford that, because you have a duty to save time. But what can you do? You can't fight them. They outnumber you 2-1, and they're huge. You'll have to outsmart them, which shouldn't be too hard. It seems like they only have half a brain between them.
Rude.
It's my turn to ask a riddle, you say.
Nice.
And they're actually pretty happy about that. They're excited. This has never happened before, and they love it. All right. You're walking through the woods, and you meet an enormous hungry lion. What time is it?
Dinner time.
Ah!
That's only fair if you want to lose.
Oh, okay.
Because you don't want to lose. You tell them that the answer is, "It's time to run," and you run.
Nice.
I don't know if you win or lose, based on that?
But I get out of there.
I guess you do because they yell behind you, "We don't get it!"
I love these guys.
And you race away. You spot a clearing up ahead, hoping you'll find Arnie and Pat there. You break through the bushes and, oh no, they're there all right. But each one is trapped in the claw of an enormous crab. Another Zodiac creature, and not a friendly one. Help, it's squishing me. Meanwhile, Arnie says, ow, these claws are sharp.
I like it.
It's fair. The crab's eye stalks twist around and stare at you. It's kind of gross. You're grateful it only has 2 claws. Or you'd be trapped just like them. Don't worry, you say, I'll think of something. All right. Now you just got to figure out how to deal with a crab the size of an army tank. The only weapon you have is this sickle, and it's tiny compared to the crab. But it does have magical powers. You don't know what they are, but hey, maybe. Or you might find a better weapon in the woods. But will Arnie and Pat be seafood snacks before you return?
I'm not going off looking for a weapon. That's wild.
Oof, you think that you can control the magic sickle?
I gotta try.
Ooh.
The sickle's in my hand.
All right. This was page 64 if we need to go back.
No, we don't need to go back. I'm gonna save the day with my sickle.
You pull the sickle from your belt, you raise it high over your head, and the blade gleams. The crab's jaws move. Kronos. It sets Arnie and Pat down on the ground.
Hey, it knows me.
Friend of Kronos.
Yeah, I love this crab.
Friend of time. Maybe the sickle's magic is letting you understand the crab?
No, the crab just wasn't speaking before, and now he's friends.
Well, you say, yeah, Arnie, show him the hourglass. Arnie pulls the hourglass out, and your heart sinks. Most of the sand has already flowed into the lower compartment. We've done like one thing.
Turn it over, Arnie.
We've got to hurry, you declare. We have to get to the hub right away. I will take you.
I love this crab.
Friend crab.
I'm happy with
So
this
you
crab.
climb onto the crab's back, and Pat, while you lumber away, whispers to you, "We're being followed."
We're being followed? By who?
Well, by a young woman in a silver robe,
Time thief.
and a goat with horns of light,
Capricorn.
and a bull,
Taurus.
and a lion.
Leo.
The Zodiac creatures all here, just as Kronos said. The crab stops. You spot a marble slab set into the ground. A silver pillar rises from its center. On top of the pillar is a twisted mass of black wire. Looking at it makes your stomach lurch. You know that must be the bomb. The hub of time. The center of all. Quick, Arnie, you urge. Put the hourglass on the pillar. Arnie approaches the marble slab and stops. His foot is poised a few inches from the ground. I can't get any closer. There's something stopping me.
Oh no, what is it?
Pat's face flushes red. Finish the job, I want to go home. Then Arnie whirls around and says, don't you think I'm trying? There's some sort of barrier, you jerk. You go, oh no, Arnie's usually the peacekeeper. You'd better do something before he and Pat get into a serious fight.
I knock him out.
Sounds good.
Knock him out on page 28.
Oh. You scan the crowd of Zodiac creatures behind you. Hey, anyone have any ideas? We're running out of time here.
I love it.
Apparently you think they're good guys.
Yeah, friend of Cronus, friend of time.
Well, they all stare silently at you, and it gives you the creeps. All right. You scratch your head with the sickle. Oh, of course. You've got this sickle. You run over to Arnie, you hold the sickle out in front of you, and you tap it against the invisible barrier. It does absolutely
You don't
nothing.
tap it, you rip it. You stab the barrier with your mighty sickle.
You wave the sickle in front of you. You bring it down in the karate chop. You swing it back and forth. Do something! You yell at it. You jab and poke the air. Your hand jerks as if the sickle wedged into something. You release the sickle. Your eyes widen. Hangs in the air in front of you, and slowly a cage appears around the hub. Oh, this must be the barrier I felt, Arnie exclaims. The sickle is jammed into a lock. You grab it and turn it as if it were a key, and a door pops open. You hurry inside. You place the hourglass on the bomb just as the final grains of sand trickle down. Crack! The bomb shatters. It falls to pieces on the ground. A cheer goes up behind you. Oh, we did it! We saved time! You grin. It feels good to be a hero, and you definitely learn something. You're never
What did
going.
I learn?
Oh, this is the lesson you learned. You're never going to believe in astrology again.
Why?
Sure, these zodiac creatures are real, but they were hardly any help. So why should you take their advice? Horoscopes may be fun, but they can be so unreliable. All right, so you made like 2 choices.
Yeah.
Zoomed through this thing, saved the world, and decided that the world of astrology that you are currently in is so real that it is now BS.
Yeah. Why would I listen to a big dumb crab when he tries to tell me my future?
Oh yeah, this is a real don't meet your heroes situation.
It
Like, I
really
just can't
is.
take you seriously anymore now that I know who you are, guys.
Absolutely ridiculous.
What?
I loved it. I had a lot of fun.
That was so
Sudden?
empty and quick. That doesn't feel like an old Goosebumps. I
No.
know, it was 6 months later. It feels different.
Okay, hold on, wait. When I got there, what did I do to the barrier? I used the sickle.
Yeah, you waved the sickle around, and then it seems like coincidentally,
Yeah.
you jammed it right into a lock, and it fit into the lock, so that you could
Ridiculous.
then open a door.
And then we did it. We solved
Yep.
we saved the world.
Nailed it.
All right, well, I guess Kronos was a good guy the whole time.
That was terrible.
It was pretty ridiculous.
Do you want to go back and see what happens if we chicken out and run through the door at the start instead of saying we'll help him?
Yeah, I want to see what happens if we don't help Kronos whatsoever. Because now I don't want to help Kronos whatsoever.
All right.
Do you think Kronos bought all the movie tickets to force us kids to enter his clock shop? I think he did.
Could be. Who knows? All
If
right.
you run away, turn to page 20.
Take me to page 20. Now, I will say, you might want to edit this out. This is a real pain. So you can use the thing at the bottom to move pages.
Sure.
But sometimes it's out of 135. Sometimes it's out of 177.
Ridiculous. I'm just going to jump to 20 this way.
Okay. It's going to get pretty slow.
All right.
Tell me about this side door.
You dart towards the side door, because it's not your fight. Mm-hmm. Hold it right there, says the time police. He aims his watch at you,
Okay.
like it's a gun, but it's a watch.
Sure.
Kronos leaps and grabs you, drags you to the floor
Oh.
as he fires a purple laser beam over your head, the time police.
Okay.
It hits a clock and vaporizes it.
Jeez.
So Kronos has saved your life. He helps you up to your feet, and he slips a wooden box into your pocket. He says, "Take this, it'll help you survive."
Ooh.
Then you race out the door. You are in a narrow alley lined with garbage cans. A huge dumpster blocks your view to the street. You hear shouting on the other side of the door, and the doorknob turns. Do you have time to run to the alley, or should you hide?
Wait, sorry, I'm already spatially confused.
You made it out the door.
The side door.
Out the side door.
Yeah.
You're in a narrow alleyway.
Yeah.
There's a huge dumpster that blocks your view to the street. The narrow
That
alley
seems weird, but okay.
you hear shouting on the other side of the door behind you, and the doorknob turns. I'm assuming you've closed it behind you.
He's really bad at describing what happened to the door after I went through it. Both times
you
I've
race
been
out
lost
the
by
door,
that.
and then they start talking about it. Do you have any time to run? Do you have time to run out of the alley, or should you hide?
I'll run it all over the alley.
So you can either race out to the street, or you can duck behind the garbage cans.
Yeah, that sounds better. I'd like to garbage.
Okay. Oh yeah, you're right. This is weird.
Knowing R.L. Stein, I dive into the garbage. I escape the time cops, but a rat bites me and gives me rabies.
You hide behind the garbage can. You escape the time cops, but a rat jumps out and gives you rabies. That's it. That's the whole thing. You hide behind the garbage can. Down here. Please don't find us, you think. It stinks. You wrinkle your nose, try not to breathe. The police run past, fooled like fools. Oh, that smell almost made me puke, says Pat.
Yeah.
Arnie wonders if they'll come back, and you say they might. I know, let's sneak back through Kronos' shop. They'll never guess we went back in there. You head back down the alley. You stop and stare at the wall. Where's the door? You came out of it just a minute ago. Oh, this is weird. Way weird, Pat agrees. You shove your hands in your pockets and your fingers close around the wooden box that Kronos gave
Is it a
you.
door?
You hold the box flat on your palm. It starts to hum. The glowing outline of a doorway appears on the wall in front of you.
Oh.
Turn to page 9. What's that? Says Pat, looking at the outline. I don't know. You hold out the box that Kronos gave you, but somehow this box made it appear. You move closer and peer at the glowing lines. They seem to vibrate. You kick a stone at the wall. Whoa! The wall between the lines shimmers. It almost looks like liquid.
Yep, sure.
The stone vanishes into it and the wall returns to normal. It's turned into a Mario 64 painting.
A little bit.
It's some kind of door, but to where? Arnie wonders.
Leap in. Woohoo.
You fling yourself at the wall. No choice.
No choice.
You land in a strange room. You can't tell where the floor ends and the walls begin. It all blends together in a shimmering mist.
Okay, I'm in a circle. Gotcha.
Where are we? Says Pat. The time police would give a fortune to know the answer to that. Sorry, that's not still Pat. That's someone else. The time police would give a fortune to know the answer to that question. Kronos strides in. This room is the secret headquarters of the rebellion.
Oh, okay.
It is outside time. I'm glad you came here. I didn't think you would. Well, we didn't know we'd end up in this place. Kronos nods. Well, now that you have made it here, we want you to join us. If you do, you will be the heroes for all time. So it's a whole separate thing where
Okay.
you're heroes of the rebellion.
Yeah, those are very separate goals of Kronos,
Very separate goals.
which makes him just even
Very
more
separate
unreliable.
goals.
I don't trust him at all. He's just saying whatever we want to hear.
You're in a parallel time frame. And you're battling the collectors, who gain power by taking over other time frames.
Okay.
No time thieves in this one. It's the collectors.
All right. Sure.
Are we doing this whole thing?
Why not?
I don't know.
This is my story.
Yeah, do you get a whole story?
Why wouldn't I get a whole story? Why don't I deserve a whole
I
story?
don't know. Maybe the episode's over.
Give me a story.
All right.
Tell me
okay.
a story, Billy.
This is exactly like Starship Avengers. Pat
Oh,
exclaims.
okay.
This is the coolest thing that's ever happened to me. And it may prove to be the deadliest, warns Kronos. What are time frames, you ask?
Oh, sure. This one gets an explanation.
No, it doesn't.
Oh.
Simultaneous time worlds. The past operating at the same time as the present. A few are alternate universes that splinter off at specific moments in time. So no, it doesn't get an explanation.
No, that's great. I get it. I'm in
Gee,
tune
you're
with this
kind of
time stuff.
You're kind of sorry you asked. Your head spins. Turn to page 6. I just turned to page 71. You must help us stop the collectors. They have discovered your time frame. Your world may be next. But how? What can we do? We have 2 ideas. Someone from your time frame is most likely to succeed, but both plans are dangerous. All right.
What are they doing exactly? Like, take over a time
They're taking
frame?
over your time frame,
What
which
does
is like a
this
time world.
mean?
Well, the time frame's like a time world, which is when the past and the present operate at the same time. And the collectors collect them by taking them over.
Mm-hmm.
And you, as someone from your time frame, are best suited to protect your time frame from the collectors.
How many threats is Kronos fighting off right now?
2.
It's just... Okay.
All right. If you enter the past, you can destroy the collectors' technology. That will give us the ability to defeat them. And what's the other idea? Arnie asks. Return to your time frame and distract them. Allow their time police to chase you. The time police now work for the collectors in this
Sure,
world.
sure.
Allow their time police to chase you. That will buy the rebellion some time. So your job to save the universe is either destroy some technology so that they're easier to defeat, or
Be
run
super
away from the
bait.
cops for a long time.
Big old bait.
So that they don't focus on the rest of the rebellion. What if we refuse? You demand. Kronos
I don't
gazes.
care. This isn't my time.
This is your choice. I will try to send you home, though it may not be safe for you or anyone. Well,
Is it a triple choice?
those are your choices. Choose. Go to the past on page 70. Go to your own time frame on page 48. Refuse the mission on page 54.
we should refuse the mission, right? You want this to end quickly?
All right, refuse the mission on page 54. Will R.L. Stein laugh at you?
I want to get some meta.
All right, here we go. We're refusing the mission. I do see it says the end.
Excellent. I should hope so.
Time out. You're kidding, right? You're refusing to help save
Yes!
the world as you know it? How selfish can you get? They're all staring at you. Pat is totally disgusted. Arnie seems embarrassed. Kronox looks disappointed. You really blew it this time. Because thanks to you, the collectors have now stolen your time frame. They can
Tell me what this means.
They can manipulate time in your world any way they want.
Cool.
So they send you back to the time when you had that wicked case of poison ivy, and they keep you there. You're going to spend eternity covered in
I did them
calamine.
a favor.
You're going to spend eternity covered in calamine lotion and itching. Hey, make a better choice next time. The end. Did you enjoy your story?
I'm pretty
Danny?
happy to have found the meta.
You found the one where
there's probably
R.L.
only
Stein
one
gets mad
per
at you?
book, and I'm happy that I got there.
It's always the best part of a Goosebumps book, where R.L. Stein calls you a coward and a fool.
So much so that the bad guys are mad at me.
Yeah, you did nothing. You deliberately helped their ascendancy, and they're like, "Yeah, but come on, kid, you're pretty cowardly."
Yikes!
Well, I mean, come on, we're collectors, but sheesh, even we have values. What did you think was gonna happen, kid? You wouldn't end up in Poison Ivy Town for the rest of your life? That's all we do.
No one told me what the consequences would
time
be.
frame, and then we put kids in their Poison Ivy time forever. We enjoy it. It's part of our culture. Idiot! You didn't help the wizard. You could have just run away from the cops for 20 hours. We would have been helpless. Helpless.
But all in all, I wasn't crazy satisfied with
No.
this is a story.
This whole thing was
It felt
very
like
weird.
everything was put into the intro. They threw in the word time a lot.
That was it.
And
Most
then
of this
the
book was
actual
just saying
adventures
time in
weren't
various
much.
ways.
Meanwhile,
Well, you're going to bring out another one? You want to do a whole other book? Danny, we're almost at the hour mark.
I just want to see how far you get into You Don't Scare Me.
For the sake of time, Danny, why don't you just give me the choices?
Where do you think I'm going? All right, so you're on a school excursion.
This is You Can't Scare Me, a different book from the same series.
Yeah.
All right.
You're on a school excursion.
I'm on a school excursion.
You hate Courtney. You just hate Courtney.
No one likes
She's
Courtney.
great at. Oh no, everyone loves Courtney.
Oh,
That's the
I
problem.
hate Courtney.
She's great. She has loads of friends. She's even on this school excursion to the marsh. She's the first person to spot a deer. Like everything just goes great for Courtney all the time. Everything's wonderful. But I don't know at this stage why. But yeah, she's she's hyper competent,
Okay.
hyper knowledgeable. She gets everything. And then as you're wandering through things, you and your friend get into a little wrestling match near some poison ivy. Okay, I think this is the same character.
This is the time. This is where I got poison ivied. So this is my poison ivy time that I will in the future be trapped in for eternity. But for now,
One can assume.
it's the past.
Yeah, and for now you just managed to avoid hitting the poison ivy, but as you're brushing yourself off from some dirt, there's a snake right next to your shoe. What do?
Attack the snake.
Oh,
What are my options?
I don't know.
You don't know my options?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see.
Yeah, this is a non-choose
this is
your
a
own.
normal one.
Yeah, what do?
I run. I run from the snake.
Yeah, that's fair, and Courtney gets everyone else to laugh at you because it's a harmless green snake.
Sure.
You idiot. And so then skip forward a little bit later. You're still being mad. Everyone's laughing at you for the rest of the excursion. And then there's a huge circle of kids that have crowded around something. And everyone's just like staring silently. And then one of your friends says, "It's Courtney."
She's dead?
No, she's got some bees on her hand. And she's very happy, saying, "Yeah,
Nice.
bees don't sting you unless you provoke them." And then she throws the bees at you.
Oh, I freak out. And I get stung.
Yeah, you definitely freak out. And then the bees fly away because they're bees, and everyone laughs at you some more. And then you go back to school. All right, so this is as far as you get. You hate Courtney. She's humiliated you several times. She's great at everything. and then you and your friends decide you have to plot to scare her somehow.
Yep, that sounds fair.
What idea do you come up with first?
Big scary mask. Dress up as a monster and find her on the street and go, booga, booga, booga.
No, not quite. Apparently, your friend's idea, the first one that you decide to try, is a really disgusting rubber snake.
Nice.
Because, it's much scarier than the other snake that she already proved she wasn't scared of.
Yeah, dummy.
It totally looks real. So, you, where do you put it? Where do you put this big rubber snake?
In her backpack at school.
That's fair. You put it into a backpack. In fact, even better, her lunch bag inside her backpack.
I'm great at guessing what this character would do.
All right. So Courtney picks up her bags. She hands her friend her friend's lunch first because she's great, and then she takes her own.
She's not that great. She threw a bee at me.
She picks up her own lunch bag, and then what do you think happens?
She looks inside, and she grabs the snake. She pulls it out, and everyone claps because she saved the school from the snake.
Very close. The teacher says, "Oh no, I forgot my lunch."
Oh,
and
no.
Courtney, saint as she is, says, "Don't worry, sir, you can have my lunch."
Okay, I was very far away from...
Well...
Oh, but then
the
he gets
teacher reaches
scared.
into it, freaks out.
And she saves
Courtney leaps in and kills the snake and stomps on it until it's in 2 pieces.
She's great. You can't stop Courtney, kid. Just be friends with her.
All right. End of the day. Everything is going quite poorly. And then another one of your neighbors approaches you as you walk home from school. She's very, very, very troubled expression on her face. And she asks you for help. The problem is her cat is stuck up a tree.
All right. I'm scared of heights, though.
Of course you are.
So I say, get out of here,
Not
Granny.
even that. It's you don't like climbing trees.
Oh, come on,
You always
kid.
cut your hands on the bark or
All
scrape your
right.
stomach or something.
Come on, kid. It's a cat. Help out.
But your neighbor says, all boys your age climb trees, don't they?
Call Courtney. She'll get the cat.
Eventually, you chicken out. You've chickened out too much. You can't do it. And the neighbor stares disgustedly at you. And says, I guess I'd better call the fire department. But instead, Courtney comes up on her sleek red racing bike. And
Does a cool front flip.
Absolutely.
Lands on the limb of the tree. Grabs the cat.
I'm glad someone in this neighborhood is brave.
Hey, lady, you gotta climb the tree.
Yeah, it took her a few seconds to be able to do this. Now that she grabs the tree trunk and shimmies up it.
Like a bear.
Sorry, shimmies up it?
No, shimmy. You
Is what
don't
it says
shinny
there?
up something. Come on, RL.
All right. You're fed up with all of this. What's your next plan?
Stab her in the night. The next plan that this kid comes up with is to fake a home invasion. I think it's to fake a home invasion.
So your next plan is tarantula. Like,
That's
to
the
drop a
same
tarantula on her back.
plan, kid.
Yeah. The wildlife thing you should really know is a no-go by now.
She's
but
fine. She kills snakes. She holds bees. She's not going to get freaked out by a tarantula. She's going to fall. She's going to keep it as a pet. Dummy.
all right, so you know that there are tarantulas in the science lab. What are your thoughts here?
Home and break in at night.
Pretty much. Sneak into the science lab after school on Thursday.
Take a tarantula.
Yep.
Put it in a locker.
No. Put it in your locker overnight.
Why? Then it's going to spook me. This kid's crazy.
It's so that your friends can then, the next morning, when you all have a class together, distract her to get her in position so that you can stand on a balcony and drop the tarantula down on her.
All right. Sure, kid.
She'd scream, she'd howl, the tarantula would get tangled in her hair. She wouldn't be able to get it out, so she'd scream some more. What could go wrong?
You've got to give up your quest for vengeance.
Ah. All right, so you break into the science lab and you discover that some of the doors and things in the lab have been left unlocked, including like his desk. There's his some of his belongings still on the desk, and you figure, oh no, there must be a teachers' meeting, and he's going to come back. Does that change your plans at all?
This is when I'm trying to steal the tarantula?
Yep, you're currently stealing a tarantula.
So here's the thing. I've already gotten some of these wrong, and we are still going.
Oh yeah.
So, are we just reading another Goosebumps book?
Let's say if you get the tarantula wrong, you die.
All right. So the teacher, I go quick. I hurry as fast as I can.
Okay. You decide to take the big one. You lift up the wire mesh at the top of the cage, reach in to grab the tarantula. You didn't bring anything to put it in.
Yeah, where did I get brave enough to grab a tarantula?
No, it's your friend who's doing that, but that's okay.
Sure.
So what's your plan?
Lunchbox, hat. I take my hat off, put the tarantula in the hat.
Well, you realize you can try that. Your friend actually tells you, no, you can't even put it in a bag. Tarantulas can tear right through a bag.
This kid's making that up.
I mean, maybe a paper bag if that's what he's thinking of, but
I don't know. He's making it up. I don't even think he can tear out of a paper bag.
Yeah. Luckily, someone has left like a plastic container on a table.
Oh, good.
About
Convenient.
the size of a cottage cheese container, of all things.
Sure.
So you poke some holes in it, and then you carry it in. You make that happen, and then the teacher's about to walk in. What do you do?
I hide under the desk.
Ah, he totally sees you.
Damn. I get killed by the teacher.
Yep. Actually, what happens is you go into the supply cabinet, but you never manage to put the lid on the container, so the spider starts walking all over you.
All right. But I didn't do that. I got caught by the teacher, took me home, showed me off to my parents and said, "This child has been stealing animals!"
Yeah, the
My
tarantula
parents
is
locked
totally
me in the basement for 100 years.
And what ends up happening is you accidentally later, the character accidentally drops the tarantula into their friend's hair instead. They just miss when they drop a tarantula on Courtney's head.
Lovely.
And so, of course, Courtney says, "Hey, tarantulas, they're kind of cool and quite nice if you don't freak
Yeah,
out.
of course she
Let
does.
me
She's
pick up the
Courtney.
tarantula."
Why did you think anything different would happen? What do you think? Oh, this girl who killed a snake to protect her teacher and hangs out with bees and understands that scary animals can be calm would be freaking out about a tarantula. You have to come up with a different plan. Just get her high up. But drop her in the ocean. Do something. Go to a whole new well of fear. Don't keep sticking on she must be scared of some animal. She's not. Get a clown. Hire a clown.
There's so many fears you can work with. We haven't even tested her public speaking.
Get her to...
Well, she's pretty good speaking public. She seems to have be captivating the attention of crowds with her animal facts earlier on. So I don't think that's going to work. This kid's ridiculous.
I just wanted to know if we tried to insert some choices into a regular Goosebumps book, how much would it change? How sensible does it feel like their thought progressions are?
They're honestly pretty fair, except for the fact that he just doesn't give up on this animal thing. You fool. Why did he go straight to a snake? All you know about one of her defining characteristics is that she isn't afraid of snakes.
And like, it's not like your character isn't just exclusively afraid of animals. Like, the main character isn't just like, it's not like they've got a one-track mind. This is also like a brainstorming session of 4 kids or so, trying to come up with these different
better
things.
than a snake that you know she's not scared of.
Not only that,
Dummies.
we'll later find out his brother, the main character's brother, is like an amateur horror movie maker. He would know
You could have
everything
done so
about
much
fears.
gore and zombie and
Yeah.
witches.
And look, eventually they'll try to make use of that, but again, in a very small way compared to other things that work there. In addition, the whole premise of where this leads up to is they discover that Courtney is actually super superstitious. And in the swamp, there's a legend of mudmen. And she totally believes in them.
She believes in the mudman.
Absolutely.
So then you dress yourself up as a mudman, but then a real
You
mudman
ask-
eats you.
You ask the brother and his friends to dress up
but
as
then it
mudmen.
turns out that it's
blah,
actually
blah,
a
blah,
real
blah.
mudman.
Yeah. Now, what I will say, there is no indicator at any point that Courtney would be afraid of mudmen.
Yeah, she might just
because
like
they're
them.
just more native creatures.
Yeah, she'd be like, I believe in the mudmen. Ah, so you're scared of them. No, they're fascinating creatures, the mudmen.
They're terrible at this.
Yeah, you don't know anything, kids. Maybe don't try and make her afraid. Maybe just be friends with Courtney. It seemed fine, other than when she threw the bee at you, which was kind of rude.
I bet you she never actually threw the bee at you.
No, you just thought it was.
Yeah.
The bee just flew
She
away.
just
and you were
did
like,
that thing. You got bees on your hand and you want to let them go, but they're being too chill.
Yeah,
you just go,
go
"What?"
upwards a little bit to make them fly. And you were
Yeah.
like, she's doing it to me. She's trying to kill me. I'm the main character. She doesn't even know you exist, kid. Just say hi to Courtney. She never laughed at you either.
Oh, well.
You imagined that. Oh, wait. No, Danny's finding some moment that Courtney's terrible. Oh, no, what did she actually say? Look at this
Well, let's
kid.
find out. Let's
He's afraid of a snake.
let me find
I'd
the
never be
beginning.
afraid of a snake because I'm Courtney.
Let's see. Courtney was first in line for the bus. She's always first in line for the bus.
That's
Yep,
perfectly
yep.
normal.
Terrible person. Terrible person. Yep. Courtney and her friend Denise had taken the front seat.
Yeah, she was first on the
She
bus.
brushes her hair.
Oh, brushes her hair. Wow.
Yep. Yep.
I don't like this kid. I mean, Courtney's fine. I don't like this main character.
No, then, Courtney spots the deer. Courtney and Denise were working too hard, in my opinion. Field trips are supposed to be for goofing and having fun away from school.
Okay, kid, you suck. Get out of
Yeah,
here.
your assignment for this field trip is you go into the swampy forest and you're trying to spot animals. And they're trying too hard.
Ugh, what losers. This kid
That's it,
deserves to
that's-
be eaten by mudmen.
Yeah, that's Courtney in chapter 1.
Yeah, Courtney's great. You suck. Hey, thank you, everybody. You're all Courtneys in our eyes. Thank you for listening. There'll be more bonus episodes coming in January and then start the new season at the end of the month. And it should be a lot of fun.
I like re-protagonizing.
Making Courtney the protagonist.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, this is always the way with Goosebumps. The Goosebumps protagonists are always either the perpetual bullying victims or perpetual jerks, sometimes both.
Nice.
The terrible prankster or the victim of every prank.
I love it.
And this one, the loser. This one's a real loser jerk.
Yes, what's
but
a real loser jerk?
it is very rare that you can still find another character and say, no, they are
They're
the good one.
No, here
It's usually
Courtney's great.
just a calling cast of scumbags.
Nope, Courtney's the best. Sorry, everybody. Thank you for listening.
I clearly need to do some more Goosebumps book reviews. This has just been getting out for a while. It's been building up.
Next week, Danny will review every Goosebumps book ever written.
Oh boy, will I.
So stay tuned for that. For this, what is now a Goosebumps podcast. No more escape rooms this year, everybody. Just Danny talking about Goosebumps.
That said, if R.L. Stein were to write a Goosebumps book that was themed around podcasts, he could well call it Escape This Podcast.
If he does, we're coming for him. We'd never do anything to impinge on your intellectual property, Mr. Stein, so how dare you go the other way around? Thank you, everybody, for listening, and we'll see you again in the future. Bye.